These are the components. We have ANSI rated climbing line. It's got sewn terminations at the end. We've got a short section of rope with sewn ends on it. These are double sheave pulleys. Both of them have a load-bearing becket on it, but only one really needs to have that load-bearing becket. But they're 2-inch diameter sheaves for a little more efficiency. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 carabiners. One is a little wider because of the, I don't know, I must have said something.
This is carabiner. I thought these were 3-inch.
GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. So we have a climbing line with a sewn termination. This is our attachment to the harness and the system. It's a short section of rope. We're going to use it in a basket configuration just for the length. It's got a carabiner on it. The pulleys are double sheave pulleys. At least one has to have a becket. We've got 4 other carabiners there. One is a little bit wider so that we can attach some of the slings to it. That one's HMS carabiner, a little wider. The Petzl rig is for belaying the whole system down. And then what we've done is we've made some of these little slings just from Home Depot tie down straps. These are the extended ones. The other ones are all kind of nice so that they're adjustable. You can put them at wherever places you can hook them on a wheelchair or whatever apparatus you're going to lift somebody up with. And then this is the chair we're using. Right, so we have those hooked up in 3 different places. So the first thing you're going to do is set your climbing line or your hoisting line for a basal anchor. So that's been pulled up. It's close to the stem. Remember, if you put the climbing line or the hauling line near the trunk of the tree, as you get a little higher, it will get some conflict with the wheelchair or whatever. But because this is a small branch, we leave it right close to the side of the tree. On a larger branch, it would be better to be out a little further so that the wheelchair is not bumping up against the tree. So let's lay this system out first, and all I'll do is lay our pulleys out first and get the carabiners that we're going to use for that. So we'll call this the upper pulley, and this is the lower pulley, and they're each going to take a carabiner there, and then we'll have a carabiner on the becket. They don't have to have the wire gate, it's just we got it there. So let's get our climbing line that we're going to put on there. So laying this out, first thing we'll do is put the first anchor on there, and that's attached to the becket. Again, this is the upper pulley, and so we're going to just thread this through the pulleys. So that goes through that pulley there, and then we'll thread this again, and I'm just kind of trying to keep the pulleys all oriented. That goes through that lower one. This one goes again to this pulley, and I said lower, I mean this is still the upper pulley. I'm just referring to where the position of the sheave was. So that comes through again, opens up, and that's the configuration. Now we've got that set, we can take our carabiners, and that locks the pulleys closed. So that's our system right there. So this is the pull down. The person in the wheelchair can pull down and assist with you if you can, he or she can. But this is your hoisting side, and this will be connected to that tether we made into a life support harness, and also everything gets attached to the chair. So let's set this. This now gets set into the line that we've pulled up the tree. And so that's ready to go up the tree, and we'll start pulling that up. Now I'm going to get on the other side. So as I pull this up, we're going to stretch that system out and let the climbing line flake out of the bag. All right, once that reaches the top up there, we're gonna just let that be. And I need that one other carabiner. Did we have, okay, this one. I'll use this one for a moment. And I'm just putting this on my belt so that I can kind of keep that line handy. Now I don't want to pull it too far where the pulley goes up and over the branch. I just want it to be up next to the branch. So now, just make that where I think it'll stay in place a little better, because we're going to tie a running alpine butterfly on a bite. So I'm going to pull enough slack in this to make my bite. That looks pretty good right there. So that's left overhand loop, comes through, and when I pull that through, that goes around and then right back where it came from, and I'll get a good size loop right there. I'm holding this loop with my pinky. This tail comes up through the hole, and then I'm still holding this hole right there. That comes through, and there's my running alpine butterfly on a bite. It's a rather large knot, so we're gonna capture it with a carabiner, but it still has parallel sides and it has cross sides. It's just that there's a whole bunch of them there, so that's good. Now this can come off because I simply had that to keep it oriented. All right, so that's set there. And if I've got, like this one, I made a little bit long, so we'll just wrap it around. But the point is, we want to take our, evidently we probably needed one more carabiner that I didn't mention, so we'll need another one. So this one goes and just locks off onto the line there, so nothing could ever work its way out, although there's no way for that to come apart. It's tied, dressed, and set. All right, so that's our hauling system. And then this is gonna go through here, and now we take that carabiner. So we were right, I didn't need an extra carabiner. So this is the one.
Except for here.
Oh yeah, for you on your harness. So that's what the chair is gonna hook up to, or that this is gonna hook up to the climber's harness right here. And so we go ahead and put that on there, won't we? So that's on a harness, and right now we could pull you up, but we're not connected to whistle stop type of connection. So now the next step is to take our straps. Let's try this again.
I just thought pull this chair.
What?
I just was gonna pull the chair up under the rope. That helps the orientation.
Okay, if you'd like.
So it's a smooth up instead of on an angle up. It doesn't matter.
I mean, you wanted it up here?
Do you want it up there?
No, I thought you wanted it up there.
No, I
Doesn't
didn't.
matter to me.
I was
Okay.
asking. I wanted to ask.
So now what we're gonna do is we take these straps that we came up with just from Home Depot. They're not life support, they're just holding the wheelchair to the person's rear end. So we take all of these and basically just click them onto the carabiner there. So this is kind of a loop on that side, and then all we did is we sewed a closure on this side to hold that carabiner. And then these kind of go to the maximum length. Oops. Work our way all around. We have 6 of them in this configuration. Okay, so while those are kind of loose, and while Tammy gets all of her stuff organized,
Put a center over there.
okay, so while those are all kind of loose, we want to make sure that this life support line is securely connected to the carabiner and the hauling system. And now we're going to start getting these where they share the load a little bit and just balance the load between all these things. And right now, like I said, they're fairly slack, so you can hold that end of the line, pull it down a little bit so it's all right. So that's still a little slack. Let's put a little more slack in all of these.
Reason is
Okay, so that's good right there. Now what we do is we just kind of feel the straps and just barely snug them a little bit. If you snug them too much, then it starts putting a lot of slack in the life support side. We just want it to hold the wheelchair or whatever the person's sitting in up against them. So those all feel, that one went a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty good right there. All right, say hi, Tammy. All right, here we are. Tammy's working on an assist for special needs people. And we didn't have her wheelchair, but we had her real little dolly there. So there you go. You're spinning your wheels. All right, here we go. Tammy's on her trolley cart.
trolley cart. my wheelchair accessible tree climbing pulley system. And we get to go for a ride.
And I get to go for a walk.
Yeah, you get to exercise. I get to like.
Yeah, let me come over and see that. Bump. All right, here we are.
Say cheese.
We're in our sky chair. I want to go higher.
Want to go higher? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go in the ditch.
You are going in the ditch.
No, I'm on the edge of the ditch.
Okay, come my way and see.
There we go.
So I guess that's my primary anchor. And I come over and I have my lanyard here. And then here's my secondary anchor. I'm going to set a throw line target right here.